Do the scope. This is Queez. Appreciate everybody's been rocking with the channel, supporting and subscribing. I know y'all hear the noise in the background. That's fire, man. I gotta set the ambiance with the burning in the background. All right, it's gonna set the tone for this video here. And y'all might be confused of where I'm gonna take it or where I'm going with this video. Aubrey, Drake, same person. Why you calling the man Aubrey? His mom made him Aubrey. I'ma call him Aubrey. All right, now you ain't gotta make it all weird. All right, but I think to start this video off and to kind of, start and show y'all where I was going with this is to kind of bring it back to the beginning, right? Because I want to discuss how we were introduced to Drake, right? I think that's important. So when we first seen this guy, whether you seen him on TV from Degrassi, and a lot of people acting like they never saw Degrassi. I don't know if you're trying to play too cool, but Degrassi was fire. There's people, if it ain't your cup of tea, I don't know. But whether you saw them there, you saw them maybe, or Best I Ever Had came out, or maybe you saw them before that with Room for Improvement, or Still Fly with Paige. That was the first song that I was exposed to from him. When you look at him off the surface, right, we just talking about what he's presenting to us. He ain't look like somebody we be thinking we running rap. Definitely not from looking at him, right? Didn't look like from the toughest of guys. Didn't look like, he had the look. You like, all right, maybe he made music just for women. Maybe he light skinned. What comes with that. The stereotypes that come with that and things of that nature. But you look at him at first, you just think, all right, maybe he's not one of those type of guys. He might make music for women, might be a backpack rapper, whatever you decide to call it. But once he started delivering content, now we can actually see if we can validate those claims, right? Music sound a little, it's for the women. Might be a little simp behavior in the music, might be tricking in the music. A lot of the struggle story of trying to prove himself because he didn't look like what, the stereotypical people thought a rapper should look like. And, his background being Canadian, biracial, white mom, all that type of stuff, right? So you have all that. Once the content comes out, we can now put a face to, all these things we've been hearing about him. Now, that's what's going to be the preface of this video here. Because I think moving forward, the brand that he presented to be Drake, some of the things he wanted to shield the media knowing about him, or how he wanted to come off always smiling, always trying to, be around in the mix, and, always looking like he's trying to help people out, and all these other things that he associated with his brand, I think he's burning the house down. This beef, these lawsuits, all these things he's doing, he's trying to burn the house down. He's going to repackage himself as somebody else. I'm interested to see who that's going to be. He just announced that he's going to be doing a solo album. And we just seen what he said about Khaled today. If y'all didn't see, Khaled announced that Drake was going to be on the album. He had 2 features. Drake was like, must be talking about Drake Bell because you ain't talking about me, buddy. And Khaled deleted that post immediately. So he's about to go, I guess, featureless for a while. So it's going to be a new Drake we're going to see. So I think along with that and some of these other things I'm going to break down, let me know by the end of the video if y'all agree. All right, let's get into the first thing here. It's no longer the case. One of the things we're going to get into here is the content in the music. Now, when they first get on, the lyrics are going to be different, right? You're hungry. You're trying to cement yourself, your stake and place into the industry and in the rankings of your peers. Your stories are fresh. People haven't heard these stories before, so they sound a little bit different when people are hearing it for the first time. Family issues, things of that nature. But the R&B is where he was his calling card. That is what allowed women to be his main and most powerful demographic that will, defend him to death, right? That R&B music that he had was more towards catering to women, loving women, simping towards women, tricking on women, all those type of things. But throughout the years, whether that been influences from, Future or other guys that he has worked with, the lyrics have become a little bit more toxic. That's not really the lovey-dovey type of lyrics no more. He more so will tell you a woman ain't shit before he tell her that she's everything. Now, that could be obviously from his experience with women. He might have ran into a lot of bad ones, and, it shaped his view. But it's a sharp contrast to what image he wanted to apply to his name. Because now you have women who might see those lyrics and get turned off and not really want to, think of you the way they thought about you. They might not think you're the perfect guy or a great guy, a good guy, things of that nature. And it looks like he no longer cares about that, because when we saw Certified Lover Boy as that title, we thought we was getting R&B slaps. We already knew what we was heading for. And it wasn't really that. I don't think that's an image or type of music he wants to continue to make. You're not going to get too many Jadeds. You're not going to get too many Marvin's Rooms. You ain't going to get too many of them songs doing it wrong. You're not going to get them songs like you used to, right? And I think that's a sharp contrast for what his brand was at the time. Again, the lyrics a little bit more toxic. They're a little bit more, when you have more toxic lyrics, that is the more direction to a younger demographic than it is to an older. Because the younger guys are going to relate to that more. They're carrying the women ain't shit or men ain't shit narrative. And that is, when you make music like that, you aiming more towards those people. But as you get older, you want to kind of make more songs that relate to an older demographic, and I don't think that really does the trick. Another reason I also want to say this too as well is, y'all remember Drake early in his career? Club Paradise is one of my favorite songs from him. A lot of lyrics from Club Paradise that I'm a reference. That song has foreshadowed a lot of things that he's going through today. And some of the things he talked about then are definitely prevalent, right? So if I go into Club Paradise and you talk about songs like that, Drake has, throughout his career, took lyrics to let you know how he has looked for acceptance in hip-hop. Because even if you go back to his younger days, him trying to get a deal, he was turned away by so many people who just didn't see it while looking at him. So he spent his whole career showing y'all or trying to prove that he belonged in rap with either the greats and prove it to the OGs and everybody, the fans. And he felt some insecurity of what his place in rap was. If you go to his interview that he did with DJ Semtex, I think that's how you say it. Excuse me if it's not. He talked about how he was afraid to ever drop, music, let's just say a package of music, and not have rap included in the package. Because he was so afraid that he didn't want his core fan base, which he acknowledged, to think that he's not on some rap shit, that he couldn't rap, or he was done with it, or he was moving away from it. That is not something that he wanted to even have y'all think for a minute that that's what he was on. So when he gave you songs like Hotline Bling, he had to throw out Pop Style. Like, he just had to always do that. And then throughout his career, he sprinkled in little moves that he made throughout his career to let y'all know that rap was always on the forefront of his mind. One of the lyrics that stick out where he, they wanted him to bring R&B acts on the road with him, and he went for Kendrick and Rock. R&B was associated with his brand. Like, they felt like that would be more suited for what the music he make. But he wanted to advocate for some rappers. Right? And then, and he always wanted rap to be at the forefront of his genre there, man. He would talk about how certain rappers would give him praise, and it meant a lot to him. He's a historian of rap. He'll buy artifacts. He'll have, he'll reference key lyrics from other songs and other people he looked up to in his songs and reference those. So he's a historian of rap. You put that into context, though, I don't think he no longer cares about how hip-hop culture or hip-hop fans or even OGs look at him moving forward. Because once you do the lawsuit, even though you're not suing Kendrick directly, you're suing Kendrick. Now, I know it's about the label and how the label pumped the song and how they marketed the song, but the lyrics in that song is the basis for the lawsuit. So, if you say sticks and stones can't hurt you, can't hurt my bones, words never hurt me, you basically saying the words hurt you. And that just never been looked at in a positive light in rap. Being hurt by words and going the legal route is never going to be accepted. The OGs ain't rocking that. If y'all look at any of these, anytime they put a mic in front of somebody that doesn't have a relationship with him and they get to speak on it, it's never favorable. They're alluding, they're quoting lyrics from Not Like Us to make it to push them further away from being not like us. So for somebody who always wanted to be brand conscious and always wanted to make sure y'all know he was about that hip hop shit, which is one of the reasons he even engaged in rap beefs. That he said he was about being competitive and he wanted to show y'all that he's about that hip hop shit. That's why he those subliminals and goes at everybody if he's challenged. And if it's a rap beef, he wanted to step up to the plate. But now, with that being the case, you can't go backwards once you make this step. Because the thing about lawsuits is they linger. Lawsuits don't settle in a month. Y'all seen all these motions to continue to push back the trial. This trial can end up going for 2 years. So the narrative that even though you're not suing Kendrick directly, that's not going to stop the media pages and the publications from framing it that way. And because I know you didn't write the lawsuit up, you had a lawyer do it, and they're going to make your case and hope you win. They're going to make it seem as damaging as possible that those lyrics did to you. People are going to associate that with words coming out of your mouth. So when you saying, I had to take my son out of school, those lyrics are, they should have never been performed. They shouldn't have been allowed. These are all the things that don't align with what hip hop was built on or what people feel like. They feel like, look, if you're in a rap beef, anything go. So once you take that step, it can end up to artists being censored in the future, and that's going to be on your jacket. You're going to be the poster child of, let's say you win, and now artists can't really go too far in rap beefs and say certain things on songs. You're going to be the poster child for it, which could never be good for your career. You already the poster child for ghostwriting. So you add that on too with it. That ain't, I just think when he made that move, he no longer decided to care what people thought about him in rap. Now he'll still make rap music. I'm not saying he's going to abandon the genre, but he was willing to lose his respect in that field for whatever outcome he's looking for out the lawsuit. Another reason, too, as well, this is a minor one out of all of the ones I have here. But his Jewish heritage, he never really put a stamp on it. Like, we knew he was Jewish. And if y'all remember the Hell Yeah, fucking right video, he had a bar mitzvah. And that's kind of the only time we really seen him step into his Jewish background. But in that lawsuit, he basically accused Kendrick of anti-Semitic lyrics. And in the time that we're in now, there's been a lot of back and forth between Jewish people and other people either making remarks on Jewish people and things of that nature, where anti-Semitism has been a big thing, right? So when you claim that, people put you to the side with them now. Because you ain't never really decided to claim that before. And again, I understand in the lawsuit you're trying to prove defamation, so you're going to use every angle that you can to win that. I get that, but that is something different from your brand. We never really seen that in his brand. His brand before, we never really seen that. Unless y'all could tell me, have y'all really seen him really claim that in his brand too much? I don't really see that. So those are just three things initially that I seen. Another one I think moving forward is, do y'all think Drake can make an album without features, heavy features? Now, I think he can, and I think he'll be successful. But his brand has always been built on shaking hands and rubbing shoulders with various different people in the industry. Whether it be a new artist that he's trying to help put on, or, ride the wave of their song. Or it could be, just having friends and peers all along the industry and being cool with them, whether it be for a power dynamic or a favor later, whatever the reason is, he always made sure to shake hands with other people in the industry. He'll comment on your song, tell her it's fire. He'll slide in your DMs to let you know how, he rocking with your music, all these type of things. So I would associate that with being extra friendly. Not saying it's genuine. I don't know. I don't know the man. I'm not saying it's genuine or it's not. But being friendly and wanting to be around everybody is what his brand was on. But he took a step back from that ever since this beef is going on. And because it was a 20v1, whether it be participants and non-participants, people chose a side and they drew a line in the sand. So he lost a lot of his collaborators, or a lot of people who spoke positive on his name. He lost a lot of that. And based off of the way he's acting after that, he doesn't want to repair those relationships. So when 21 Savage has a party, which he is still cool with, I feel like old Drake would have been there. I feel like he would have been front line and center. And it was a theme party too? Oh yeah, not. It'd have been front line and center. But he didn't show up. Cool. He went to Michael Rubin party. Y'all know everybody was up there. Anybody that got a face and 500,000 followers was at them parties. He said he went there and gave cold shoulders to everybody. Probably just stayed to his guys the whole time. Went to a public party, wanted to everybody know I ain't rocking with y'all. Cold shoulders in the Hamptons is what the lyric says. So again, he's not trying to be mixy. If he gonna be mixy, he gonna let y'all know I ain't gonna talk to you. I ain't gonna talk to you. That's basically what it is. And those are things that his brand, if he's gonna be less friendly and he's gonna have less collaborators and less features on his music, I wonder how that will make it look for his brand. Because what helped him become adaptable to so many people is he jumped in so many different demos that he was able to get some of their fans, whatever demo he jumped in, and it became more palatable to them. So if he's not going to do that no longer, he already got the base. But for somebody who is basing their career off of numbers and stuff like that, if you're not going to have a sprinkle of those demos on those albums, and you're not going to delve into those again, maybe that could affect you on the sales department. We'll see. But that's also a big turning point, man. Imagine Drake albums with 2 features on it, 3 features on it. That ain't really what he do. And now he can still collaborate with his Atlanta artists. He didn't lose them guys. But at some point, you might want to differentiate the style of music that you make, because you already have had Thug at 21 on multiple songs since the beef has happened. So you're going to do it again and keep doing it again. At some point, them collabs get a little stale. So, I think that was I think some of those things too as well is him kind of, changing up his brand and what it's going to be. Now, the last point I'm going to make too is engaging in rap battles. That has been his, no matter what you can say about the guy, he always was there for the smoke more than any other rapper. At least of his generation. Think about it. His generation. I'm not talking about all time. I'm talking about his generation. He has engaged in multiple rap beefs, and he has thrown shots at pretty much anybody that's thrown shots at him. Now, he might have ignored some along the way, but he still got a high clip as far as responding. Whether it be Common, whether that be Meek, whether that be Pusha, even Jay-Z, whether that be Tory Lanez, whether that be Kanye. I think it might have been a allude lyric here and there too. There's been a lot of people that he has engaged in these type of, Joe Budden. There's been people that he engaged in throwing shots with throughout his career. Diddy. Obviously Diddy ain't gonna rap back, but still, he might kill you. No. I'm just saying. He throughout the years he's been stepping forefront when it comes to that stuff. Engaging in rap battles was your calling card, but what happened is, when he made the moves he did, which is backing out at 2, people forgave you for the Pusha one. They got over it. Time went by, they got over it. I don't know about this one, though. Because he did say he stopped responding to Kendrick because of things got too real, people got shot, all types of stuff. Now, you did respond with the Heart Part 6, but I don't know. Even though the lyrics were saying, you get back to it once the lies stop, you could have still kept dropping more records. You didn't. So it seemed like you was done with it. So they will add this as the second one you backed out of, because people looked at that as the waving the white flag. So now that great history you got as far as engaging in rap battles is kind of tainted. Because people only gonna remember for the ones you backed out of. So being all about the smoke, which is what you wanted to be associated with your brand, because you always wanted to stress that you about the competitive part of hip hop. You turn that you're letting the fans know. The fans are seeing that it's, that's something that you're not going to do anymore. At least it's something Drake is not going to have on his career anymore. So I think these big things are major for him moving forward. I do not know how this guy is going to present himself or repackage Drake the brand to achieve the similar success or close to. And I'm going to reiterate him. He don't care about his respect in hip hop anymore. He changed his demo. He has, the rap beefs. He's no longer. I don't think he's going to engage in any more rap beefs moving forward. I think his competitive side is going to die down as far as that goes. His Jewish heritage, that was the least one out of him, but still. And what was the last one I said? Being less industry. I think those 5 things that were always associated with Drake brand is no longer going to be the case. I think he's going to repackage Drake into somebody else. You don't even see him be his old comedic self, right? You don't even see all that, right? Think about it. He was on the SB, hosting the SBs, doing all those skits, acting. These are things that we knew him for. Being on Degrassi, whatever. Who watched at the time? Degrassi was fire. Check it out. I don't know if you got an adult brain now, might not hit the same, but I don't know. But those things, and one of the things he always put on too is he write pop songs because he want to be looked at. He want to be looked at as Michael Jackson. He said he loved rap in that interview, that DJ Simtex interview I'm going to relate to. Said he loved rap, but he made pop songs because he wanted to be as big as Michael Jackson. But when the award shows come around, they still put him in the rap category. So he always felt like a slight because of that. It always left an uncomfortable place for him where he felt like he was in hip-hop. Because even if he tried to pull away, people wouldn't let him. They never really let him fully pull away. So I think for him, he always had a uncomfortable relationship with being in there, with rap because of, he couldn't really even stray away from it if he wanted to. And again, Club Paradise, he said, certain rappers used to say, "What up, though?" I used to brag about it to my friends. Now I learned that all these niggas is cutthroat and all they do is just pretend. He probably feeling that lyric right now. That's probably how he feel it right now. Like I said, some things in that song relate to it. It's a good song. But that's how I feel, man. I think he's burning down the empire of Drake and what he was, what he is. And whatever he want to, reintroduce himself as, we'll see. But again, hit that like and subscribe button if you're still with the video. This is Queese. This is Through the Scope. I'm out. Peace.